Hey. Okay. I'm driving. Do not do this while driving. What are you against? What do you stand against? What are you not for, but against? So I'm listening to. I'm driving, right? I'm driving to The Hague, and I got another half hour or something. And the podcast I'm listening to is the Story Brand podcast. I am faithful to my hero Donald Miller, and he is talking to somebody. I'm not sure who it is, but she has a famous podcast. Didn't catch her name. Is that really a name? I don't know. If that's really it, and I'm joking about it, but anyway. So she's talking about her branding and messaging and saying, what to do with your messaging and your branding, and that's great. But then Donald Miller comes back and says, he brings back Story Brand, of course, and Hero's Journey, and he says, well, you need a villain, you need a problem. And I don't think I've ever thought about this, because then they were talking about some Dr. Becky or something, I don't know who that is, and how she is so lovely and sweet, and she's a doctor helps about parenting. And you think, oh, she's so positive, she's not against anything. And so they said, or maybe she analyzed it, they said she's against thinking there is something bad in your child. So there's something good in your child. What she's for is that there is good in your child, and you just have to learn how to get it out, right? To be a good child or whatever. And so Donald Miller says, so what I'm against, Donald Miller, is I'm against, what did he say, like vague or confusing brand messaging. I thought, okay, so he's against that. So, because he said, it was interesting, he said on his YouTube thumbnails or whatever, podcast thumbnails, he gets more visibility when he has a scowl, when he has a frown, right? And maybe the topic or the headline is, I'm against this thing. And it's really interesting, because I am a total failure, so to speak, in this. I'm positive, and I want to go for the positive vibes and the upside and the silver lining, and I can always find the good thing in it. And let's not talk about the bad thing. We want to talk about the good thing. And it's positive, and I'm smiling, and yay, isn't it all wonderful? And it's interesting, because I think, I know he's right, of course, because he does the research, and so does she, this podcaster, because they have the research and the numbers, and so they know this is what works. And of course, you get into psychology, what is bad, or we're scared of, or we don't want, we tend to focus on more. And they say this all the time. I mean, Donald Miller says it too. What are the problems that the hero is facing? You don't talk about, it's not first, what are the dreams of the hero? What are the positive aspects of the hero? No, we never even hear that stuff. We just hear, what are the problems that the hero is dealing with? And how are we going to overcome them? So throughout this, I hit pause, and I don't tell, but I fumbled with my phone. I'm a very cautious driver, and I know how to deal with my phone pretty well with audio commands. So I got my favorite Voice Recorder Pro app. They should really sponsor me, by the way, Voice Recorder Pro. It is one of the best apps out there. Unfortunately, it's only for Apple. Well, unfortunately, if you're an Android user, but if you're an Apple user, Voice Record Pro. Here's my pitch. Okay, forget the pitch, because I'm about to talk about its positive aspects. Here's my pitch. When you do a voice recording and it's not so easy to share, or you can't get it to your friends, or you can't get it to YouTube or in audio format that you want, you can't upload it or rename it or give it a different title, and then you have to put it into 14 different programs to get it to do what you want. Isn't that frustrating? Meet Voice Record Pro. With Voice Record Pro, you can record for You can record using multiple sources. You can record output can be multiple formats. In fact, you can upload it to Dropbox, to Google Drive, to any kind of drive like that. And the absolute craziest part is that you can upload it directly to YouTube. So isn't that frustrating when you have audio and you want it to be on YouTube and you don't know how to get it there? That's where Voice Record Pro comes in. In Voice Record Pro, they don't do a whole movie, they do a static image, but already they do a static image that lasts the entire length of your audio, and now you have a YouTube film. And sure, later you can fix it or change it or make it all fantastic, but literally, when I'm in the car and I want to upload this YouTube video soon, I'm not going to hit record on the phone, on the camera, or even in YouTube. Not to mention, I really shouldn't do that. I'm recording audio in the car. I shouldn't do that. But don't you hate when you can't get it up to YouTube? There you go. Okay, wasn't that interesting? I rarely do this. But I think Donald Miller, he's my hero, right? And so he knows what to do, and this podcaster extraordinaire, whatever her name is. Sorry, I keep saying that. But, wow. Okay, so, on the spot, while I'm recording, what am I against? What is Bradley Charbonneau against? What is re505? What is the year of you against? Okay, the year of you. So I normally say, get clarity on your year. So what am I against? I'm against fumbling through the year on autopilot, just like last year. That's good, right? What else am I against? I'm against absolute repetitive, same as last year, same old. I live my life 1 year at a time, except that 1 year at a time is exactly the same as last year. Or how about this? I'm against the year of you, right? The year of you is against not living your dream. The year of you is against thinking only other people can change their lives. The year of you is against humans who only have one life and don't believe in 9 lives from cats. That's who I'm against. I'm against humans who believe they only have one life. And I'm not talking afterlife. I'm talking about making your book into 9 chapters, making your human life into 9 chapters. I'm against people who think that their life is a single podcast episode and they can never hit pause or reset, or they can't even make a new episode. Are you having fun? We're having fun? This is what I'm against. How about re505? Right now my big project is the year of you. How about re505, my company, my brand? What is that against? So if I say what it's for, because that's what I usually do, it's who will you be next? So re505 is against you being the same person over and over. re505 is fiercely against you being tricked into thinking that you have to be the same person you were last year, even when you don't want to do it. re505 is against thinking it's only possible for other people. re505 is against believing that you're not good enough and that only other people have success or live their dreams. re505 is against believing that it's only the glass of white wine on the Eiffel Tower with the fireworks going off that indicates or designates success and a holiday. re505 is against only thinking it is big, giant successes that have dollar signs all over them, and they have to be fast and big. re505 is against people who don't believe they are yet who they want to be. re505 is against people who put down others, who don't believe in them. I even have like a scowl on my face as I'm saying these. I'm trying to be mean. I'm such a nice guy. I'm such a friendly guy. I'm such a positive, uplifting, silver lining cloud kind of guy. I have a hard time being like mean and being like, what am I against? This is what I'm against. Let me tell you what I'm against. I have to put on like my mean voice. I don't even have one of those. I like doing accents. I don't really have a against that accent. All right, what is Bradley Charbonneau against? We did Year of You. We did Read Possible. What is Bradley Charbonneau against? You know what I'm against? I'm against people who think it's all luck. I'm against people who think that you can only make it if you have the means and you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I'm against people who don't believe they can do it. I'm against people who think that if they fail, they're failures. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm against people who wait until it's perfect. I'm against people who will only do the thing when the time is absolutely perfect. I'm against soon-to-be writers who wait only to write the novel when they're on the lakeside with a cup of tea at the sunset. And then, and only then, do they start their novel. Because I'm for those people who believe in themselves. I'm against people who don't believe in themselves. I'm against people who don't love themselves. I'm against people who don't believe that they can love themselves. I'm against people who, wow, this is hard for me. I'm literally doing like my mean voice. I'm against this. I'm against that. It just makes me, like my teeth are all gritted. I'm trying to like stay in traffic. I'm driving. I really should not be driving. Especially when I'm against it. I'm against driving and recording podcasts at the same time. Oh, I laugh too much. I'm against people who laugh too much. Okay, I think I've had enough. I'm feeling this. So what do you think of that? What do you think of this idea of what are you against, right? What are you against? And then what Donald Miller is saying is that makes the what are you for even stronger. So he makes, what does failure look like? It makes the success even sweeter because you've clearly stated what the failure looks like. What do you think about that? I think, I'm almost there, I think I'm not against a whole lot of stuff. I am, though. I really am. I'm against people who litter. I hate people who litter. I really do. I'm against them. I'm against people who litter. Is that good? I mean, I'm such a softie in that sense. I'm against people who are softies and don't say they hate people who litter. I think it's one reason I live in this country. It's a very clean country. It's not Switzerland, but it's clean. And then again, I don't live in the center of Amsterdam, which is not so clean. Okay, this is Bradley signing off from the A12. That means A12 highway in the Netherlands. It is gloomy. It is gray. You know what I'm against? I'm against gray skies. I'm against the winter when it's gloomy and gray and dark. I'm going to fix that next year. If you know I'm going to fix that, if you know how I'm going to fix that, let me know in the comments. I want to see if you're listening to my recent episodes. All right, thanks so much. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are you against? Let's not get politics, sex, or church, or religion, or whatever it's called. None of that. But what are you against? And then how do you solve it? What are you against? And then what are you for? How about that? You want to leave me in the comments? Go find this YouTube. If you're listening to this on a podcast, go find the YouTube and let me know what you think. All right, Bradley signing off from the highway. See ya. See you next time. Bye for now.